Coming up on today's news, there was a big return on last night's AEW Dynamite. Also, Bryan Danielson's first AEW match has been revealed, and it's a big one. And finally, more NXT stars have been given brand new ring names. Yes, no messing about today. We are straight into the news, Ross. There was a big return on last night's Dynamite.
There was a big return on last night's Dynamite. Rosario Dawson was there, back once again. With the ill behaviour.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She jumped the barricade. Fans aren't allowed to do that, Rosario. How dare you do that at professional wrestling events?
Celebrities.
Slandering our good name.
Thinking they're above everybody.
I know, slandering our good name as professional wrestling fans. But no, Malachi Black was in the ring just sort of cutting a promo. He was wearing a Harry Potter-esque cape.
You exclaimed at your desk today when you were watching this to see about the cape. You were like, what's going on?
It's when he was just walking around the ring and it was flapping behind him. I was like, oh my God, he's a wizard.
Yeah.
A dark wizard.
Yeah.
A dark and dirty wizard. He was cutting a promo, and then Rosario Dawson, who was a judge on the Go Big show, which Cody's also a judge on, she hopped the barricade, hopped on his back and started strangling the guy, right? And then in response to that, Cody Rhodes just appears in the crowd, walks down, brawls with Malachi Black, and they brawl up and out the arena throwing drinks on each other and stuff.
Now I'm worried, because we all know, we've all suspected what might happen here.
I'm terrified, Jack.
The classic Cody Rhodes angle that we've seen a couple of times in the past. And it looks like it might be on its way to happening again, where Cody loses horribly, takes some time off, comes back and heroically wins.
For America.
But that's had diminishing returns each time he's done it, and people are starting, you sense, to get a little bit sick of it.
I mean, when he turned up last night, there was audible boos. Did you hear the audible boos?
Oh, man.
This is the only part of last night's Dynamite I've seen as we're sat here right now, and there was audible boos when Cody came back. And Excalibur, on commentary, I think it was, made it a point of saying Cody has regained his passion for professional wrestling.
Oh, he's not been off for that long.
I know, he's been gone a few weeks, hasn't he? But, I mean, the right thing to do here is just have Malachi Black kick his head off once again and then walk out of... It's the Arthur Ashe Stadium event, isn't it? That one.
I hope that happens, but, you know, we know what Cody's storylines, with the pattern they've followed recently, and this seems to have all the hallmarks of a glorious Cody win. But in the case of Malachi Black, I don't think he should be losing yet.
No, not at all.
I don't think he's beaten up enough people and done enough cool things.
But with the spirit of America running wild through the veins of Cody Rhodes, he's gonna lose, isn't he?
He's gonna beat Malachi Black and send him back to the Netherlands. A big international feud. So yeah, Cody was back on last night's Dynamite, but there are some absolutely stacked cards for future Dynamite shows as well, including Bryan Danielson's first AEW match. So, well, next week's Dynamite, and these shows, by the way, are taking place, of course, in Arthur Ashe, the big old tennis arena, where me and Ross personally won the US Open.
The doubles.
Yeah, we did. We won it. So up the Brits and all that. But no, next week on Dynamite, well, first of all, and we need to linger on this one for a bit, Bryan Danielson's in-ring debut will take place against Kenny Omega in a non-title match.
Now, this shocked me, because when I asked you this morning, is there any part of Dynamite I need to watch from last night? You just said, just watch the Malachi Black bit. I need to see the context by which this match was set up, because this, just having not seen the segment, because I know Bryan Danielson, and Kenny Omega and Don Callis got a promo against each other in the ring last night. Without the context of knowing what was said in that promo, that screams very WCW, doesn't it?
You were saying you were worried about this, like too quick, giving it away for free.
Aye.
Maybe.
I thought they would have teased that until like All Out.
Full gear. Well, I think, Jack Atkins upstairs was theorising, or was it Aiden? They're quite a double act these days, but they were saying, maybe Bryan Danielson will win, and that'll set up a title match. Can you imagine if he just dealt Kenny Omega a loss on Dynamite, on TV?
Maybe something will happen where it looks like they're going to get in the ring, but something happens and they don't.
Maybe, but they've advertised the match, and that they often deliver on what they've advertised.
Yeah.
It's a strange one.
It is a strange one.
We'll have to see how it plays out, but it's another bold booking decision from TK. Also on that show, MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr., which is a little feud, but with a lot of heat behind it now. After MJF's horrible promo last week, what's he doing?
Being a heel.
Yes. Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black, which we've already discussed, but that will also take place on this huge show. It's a pay-per-view lineup, really, isn't it? Eddie Kingston and John Moxley against Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki.
Suzuki Gate is now canon.
Yes, it
from
is.
Last week's show,
the Suzuki incident.
They cut the song off before the cars Ninare.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got it nailed down now.
But that's been rectified now. They played it again, and now they're having a big old brawl with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. FTR against Darby Allin and Sting. It'll be interesting to see how FTR work with Sting. I'm sure it'll be quite good anyway.
Yeah.
Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho for the AEW Women's title, and a CM Punk promo as well. That is a huge Dynamite.
Yeah, the only match I can think of, which is a glaring omission, would be Proud and Powerful. Santana and Ortiz potentially getting the tag team titles in New York, because they're from that bit of the world, aren't they? And it would have been a huge pop for the crowd.
That's very true.
But you can't have everything, to you?
And the Lucha Bros have only just won them.
Yeah.
I suppose so. I'm sure there'll be more New York shows in the future for Proud and Powerful will get their moment. I hope, because they are the roster's so talented that sometimes you forget about certain ones, and Proud and Powerful are definitely two of those guys. On Rampage as well, that's also a pretty big show.
2 hours.
2-hour Rampage, of course, yes, a special 2-hour edition next week. CM Punk taking on Powerhouse Hobbs in his second ever AEW match.
The warm-up for Hook.
Yes, the warm-up for Hook. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, or Super Click, have reformed to take on Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. And the Men of the Year will take on Chris Jericho and Jake Hager in what I assume will be another glorious win for Chris Jericho. I
reckon Jake Hager could turn heel on Chris Jericho here and join the fellow MMA men.
Dan Lambert, he wants real men, real shooty men.
And Jake Hager is definitely one of those, isn't he?
That would be cool. You might have nailed it there. So it's a huge lineup of shows, but the big takeaway there: Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega on TV. They are looking to capitalise on this recent rating success, I would suggest. Over the other side of the divide now to NXT, where more NXT stars, or kind of like some of the lower members of the card or Performance Center sort of people, have been rechristened. They've been given new NXT-rific names. So we've got, is that Unreal Howard? Is that a typo? No, Unreal Howard. Yeah. Will now be known as Lash Legend. No, that's good, That's
a creator wrestling name off a 2K showcase mode.
Lash Legend.
Lash Legend. Baron Blade and Lash Legend.
Oh, Lash Legend is... Sean Tan will be known as Dante Chen, and Josh Dawkins will be known as Malik Blade, which I could have sworn, like if somebody came up to me and went, did you hear about the 5-star match that Malik Blade had on the Indies last night? I'd go, oh yeah, I heard about that. Because I thought that was already a real person.
Right, I don't know.
It sounds like an existing wrestler's name.
I hope that one day we find out from someone who's in NXT what the process is for NXT superstars getting their names.
Yeah.
Because they are weird, aren't they?
Sometimes it seems like very arbitrary decision making. And sometimes there's a whole wave of them done at once. Like there's been 3 here. Sometimes we've seen more happen at once. And it seemed to be like, I don't know how to describe it, like a sideways move. It doesn't make them sound any better or worse. It's just like, oh, here's another indie sound or NXT sounding name.
Then you've got like, I saw someone tweet last night, they've released Braun Strowman and immediately called someone Braun.
Yeah, that is very true as well, actually. Speaking of Braun Strowman, well, not really. They're not that linked, are they? But speaking of Braun Strowman, he was in a stable with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's brother is Bo Dallas.
You've got that.
Thank you. And he has resurfaced on social media. He, under the name Taylor Rotunda, under his real name, tweeted a link to his YouTube channel and told fans that something is cooking and to stay tuned for October the 1st, my birthday.
Oh.
That's not what he means, though.
He's baking a cake for you?
For me, yeah. That's the thing. People are speculating that this might actually be a cookery show.
And that's everything I want and more. More professional wrestlers should be doing cookery shows.
The image is in an apron and stuff. He's got some chicken wings. Well, why do you want more wrestlers to be doing
Because cookery shows are fantastic.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the only part of Brandy Rhodes I like.
Oh.
Her YouTube show.
Do you know what I mean? Does it not depend on the quality of the presenter?
No. Just, Brandy's character in AEW doesn't tickle my proverbial pickle.
But she's a good
good host on A Shot of Brandy, where they make drinks and food.
Yeah, fair enough. Do any more other wrestlers?
Renee Young's got a cookbook.
Yeah, she does.
Jim Ross has sauces.
Yes, he does. Fair enough. And
That's it.
The Rock's always cooking.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, man. Right, well, thanks very much for watching this news video. I'm sure there'll be more news later on, so do stay tuned as well. And have you got anything exciting planned for the end of the week?
No, not really. Have you?
No. Great. Right. See you soon, everyone. Take care.